All right, Jeremy, we're back at it, man. We've knocked out a bunch of questions from our 8U ball club up to our 17U ball club, and we've had some good ones.
Yeah.
This next one, this next one makes me.
You're laughing about it, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
nervous.
it's just a good question, man. And um, Carter Rich wants to know, what was your mindset when you broke up Hendricks no-hitter with a home run in the ninth inning against the Cubs when you were playing as a Cardinal?
Oh man,
I told you, that's why I was
hey,
smiling, dude.
I had an idea that it might be about that.
Yeah.
um,
Oh, hey, hold on. So before you get into it, on a simple 1 to 10 scale, on the coolest baseball moments in your entire career, does it make the top 10?
yeah, 100%. Top three, easy. Top three, no doubt.
So top three, then we got to go with what are the other two then?
Um, not during baseball, but just being told by Matheny that I was a big leaguer now when I was broke with the team. That and crossing the lines for the first time when I was playing, just stepping on the field, having them announce my name.
I mean, in the big leagues.
Yeah, in the big leagues.
Yeah,
Yeah, just unbelievable.
yeah,
Just
man.
the butterflies. There's no way to choke that down. You just have to somehow fight through it. But that was crazy. It was unbelievable.
That's awesome, man. All right, so back to Carter's question. What was your mindset when you broke up Hendricks no-hitter with a home run in the ninth inning against the Cubs when you were playing as a Cardinal?
I like those other couple things we could talk about to give me some time to think about this.
Dan, you're saying you're glad
No,
you had time.
yeah, no. So I was leading off that inning, and then Greg Garcia was behind me. I remember turning around to him when I was about to walk up there because he yelled at me. He said, Hayes, I don't want to make ESPN tonight. Let's break this up because you know dang well if he no hits us because everybody, as a baseball player, as a baseball fan, if you know somebody's got a no going into the ninth inning, you're putting that game on. You have no idea how many people are tuned in watching that.
Yeah.
So, you lock down. Just like I said before, it's a battle. He's trying to ruin my day. I'm trying to ruin his.
Well, yeah, take us through the AB, man. Let's go.
Yeah, so he's been dealing. Of course, he's unbelievable pitcher. He's been dealing that whole game. He's not overpowering with speed. He's not 98, 99 guy, but he just knows how to throw the ball. He knows how to pitch. He knows how to hit his spots and can throw every pitch where he wants to. So going up there, knowing it was going to be a dogfight and knowing what he got me out on previous ABs, I know he's going to come with a changeup. At some point in this AB, he's going to come with the changeup, and I'm good at hitting outside pitches. So I'm kind of looking for that in the back of my mind. But the whole time in my head, I'm not thinking, the guy's got a no-hitter going. It's a normal AB. You're looking for a pitch. You're battling to try to get to that pitch, which is that's exactly what happened. He threw a changeup and didn't get it as far out as he wanted. Just kind of left it over the plate that I got to. And that's what they said after the game was that he should have made a better pitch. But that, as far as my mentality going into that, it was to ruin his day. Because he would have remembered that no hitter forever. And I'm sure he still remembers it, but I'm sure he probably knows that I'm the one that broke it up too. So that's something that I remember. I remember, and a lot of people talk to me about that, and a lot of unfortunately, a lot of Cubs fans sent me a lot of messages about that after that game was over. Not good messages, but yeah, man, it was unbelievable, and to break that up, it was it was awesome.
What? Yeah, that was. That's a good question. Good question, Carter. Bringing in Mr. Pinkston. Drew wants to know, what is your mindset the next play whenever you make an error?
I want the ball back. I want another chance. I want another opportunity because I know it's going to happen at some point. So why not give it to me now? You know, I boot a ball or I do something and you know, I've made errors in the big leagues. If something like that happens, oh man, it's embarrassing. It sucks. And error always sucks. It don't matter where you're at. You know, you're thinking, what's my coach thinking? What are all the fans thinking? What are my teammates thinking? What's the pitcher thinking? But it's, for me, yeah, it sucks, but I want another opportunity. I want a tougher play to show that I can make it. You know, I want another chance at it.
Right on, man. Yeah, I mean, that's I think you're going to see all good ball players are I mean, why don't you? I mean, you know, you always want the ball back. Like, hey, give me another shot at it, man. Let me get this thing right.
You see,
yeah.
real quick. You'll see a pitcher. He'll give up a home run, but next pitch, dotted, or next pitch, the hardest pitch he's thrown yet. He wants it. You know, that's the drive that we as baseball players, you know, we have. We want another chance.
That's that Bulldog mentality too, though. I mean, you see guys, even as a catcher, you see a guy, pitch comes in, and like as catchers, you know, dude, like Danny Valencia used to be the hardest dude to call pitches back behind the plate. Like, that dude, it felt like his barrel was in the zone forever, for so long, and it felt like his barrel was this big around, and if he hit anything, it was just going to be a missile.
Yeah,
it was tough. It was tough with that cat, but there's a bunch of other dudes that way too. But man, I remember calling pitches back. He was like, it just felt like his bat covered the whole entire plate.
Right.
But as a catcher, like you see this baseball coming in, and you're sitting back here as a catcher, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to catch this one. And boom, the guy swings and hits this thing. It's a home run, and right away it's like, hey, give me a baseball so I can get back to my pitcher. Like my pitcher out there standing on the mound, give me the baseball so I can get it to him. Like, dude, you don't have to watch him touch home plate. Like, let's go. We know what happens. Give us the baseball.
Exactly.
Get right to work.
Everybody knows what happens. Everybody knows he gave up a home run. Everybody knows you made an error. So why keep thinking about it? Why stay focused on it? Why carry on? You know, just move on.
Yeah, let's get it and go. That's exactly right, man. Benny Vaughn wants to know, best player you've ever had to face.
Man, that's a tough one. Faced, you know,
we could go position player and pitcher.
Yeah, as far as pitchers go, like facing Syndergaard, facing Strasburg, Scherzer, guys like that.
Scherzer was tough, man. I faced Scherzer in Double-A, and it was like he threw cinder blocks into the plate.
Absolutely.
They would get, I mean, they'd be sinking for you, but like as a right-handed hitter, man, like you had to choke up and you had to be ready to go inside because it would start over the center and it would end up inside off the block. His ball moved so much, man. It was so hard to hit.
That's the toughest thing. You know, I'd rather face a guy that throws a straight 99 than a guy that throws power sinkers that are 92. But you know, facing in 16 the whole Cubs pitching staff, they were money. So I mean, there's so many guys pitcher wise that I faced that I thought were really good that, you know, that I watched play in the big leagues before I got called up. So I was like, man, I can't believe I'm facing this guy. And, you know, got the chance to, but also at the same time, you know, I'm trying to trying to do some damage against them, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Leighton Ivers wants to know, what is the best advice someone has ever given you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, yeah, yeah.
Man. um,
School and high school. Any coaches or any parents or players or anybody in high school that was, hey, you know what? I think you got some ability if you would just, I mean,
I had a fella that helped with my high school team, and I don't. It wasn't what we were playing, but I remember at a basketball game. It was at a girls' basketball game. I was walking out of the gym with a couple buddies, and he stopped me, and he said, "You know you're good, right?" Because I mean, we were buddies. He was around all the time, and we just started chatting. And he said, "You know you're good, right?" And he said, "You got a chance." And I was just like, "All right." He was like, "No, you really got a chance." I didn't know what that meant, but that's kind of one of the things that, like, I remember. I don't know what he fully meant. I don't know if he really knew what he meant, but that was like, man, I might be good.
Here's my question though. Why did it matter that he told you? Because I was told the same thing. I had a guy in town. He's like, "Hey man, you got some tools. You've got a chance. I mean, you got some tools there. You got a chance. If you keep working, you got a chance." And we hear that from our parents. We hear it from our mom, from our dad, from our grandparents. I'm the best player that's ever played baseball. If you ask my grandmother, you know, and
Yeah.
and I obviously know that that's not the truth, but we hear that. But then, what made it so different that you heard it from this guy? What made him credible? What made it stick? What made it resonate?
I think the fact that it was completely out of the blue. He had no reason to tell me right then. We weren't at the ball field. I've had guys tell me at the ball field, how good I am. I've had a kid tell me I'm the best player. I've had a dad tell me, that his kid idolizes me. Like, that's all fantastic. It's all great stuff. But, away from the ball field, when something just catches you off guard, just in common talk, just normal talk, just a normal conversation, and he just throws that at me, just caught me really off guard, and I have no idea. I can almost remember what the guy was wearing, and I got a terrible memory as it is, but that stuck with me all these years. It made me think that I took that in a lot of directions, in a lot of ways. I took that as, I got a chance. I need to keep working. I need to get back at it. I need to work harder. But that, it just caught me so off guard that it really resonated with me.
Oh man, I was 12 or 13. I was 12 or 13 years old, and I had and is one of my best friends and still is. But his dad, he played some minor league baseball. I say some. I mean, he's got 4 or 5 years at the AAA level and he was a pro. He got there fairly quick, and then he stuck around there and pitched and played, and you understand it. I mean,
Right.
he's what we would call he'd be a 4A baseball player.
Yeah.
And so, Jim Bake, he's like, hey, you got some tools, man. If you can show up and work hard, man, like, you got a chance. So never forgot it. And then I had other coaches as well, but that was one of the first times where family believing in you is one thing, but having coaches believe in you is a completely different way to see it or feel it. It was, I
Yeah.
know
For
it's,
you, why at that point? Why why him at that moment? Why that thing that he said then for you? Why did that stick with you?
I mean he was he was a pro baseball player. He'd been to the place I wanted to be.
Yeah.
And he showed up on time. He showed up early. Like he had a plan. And still does to this day. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it one single bit. But I mean, he's one of those dudes that when he spoke, he didn't yell and scream. I mean, I've been there. I've been the coach that's yelled and screamed, and I've torched teams. I mean, I've been that guy. I mean, that's not the guy you want to be.
Yeah.
But this guy didn't have to raise his voice. He didn't have to yell. He didn't ever have to be negative at all with you. Like, you just listen. He had that kind of credibility, and he had that kind of feel that you just knew he wasn't full of it. That was it. Like, you knew that he wasn't just talking. Like, he didn't waste words. He didn't waste time with words. Like, if he said it, there was reason behind it.
Right. Yeah, and I think
that's why.
For any coaches that might be, checking in on this, you don't have to scream to get your point across. You know what I mean? Because we've had those coaches. Oh, we've had those coaches that think they have to scream and yell about everything. But honestly, there are ways to get your point across, and we'll listen to you. You know what I mean?
And I've been that. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's
a time and a place.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you've got teammates showing up other teammates, and I mean, those times are very, very, very few and far between, and they're more at a high school collegiate level, where you're really starting to sort out, right and wrong. But yeah, I mean, I've been that guy. I mean, I can tell you, I've had a lot more success being conversational with players than being confrontational and just being just yelling and like it doesn't do anybody any good. Never does. And I wish if I could go back and tell myself that 7 years ago when I very first started Britain's bullpen and everything that I had going, I would definitely go back and tell myself that for sure.
Right.
But hey, you do. I mean, you live and learn with it. But yeah, Coach Bacon. Like, he didn't waste time with words. Like,
right.
When he said it, like it meant something.
Yeah.
All right, last question, and this is a good one. And this will finish us up. From one of our coaches. Matt Razanowski wants to know, from your experience, how do teams develop a winning culture? And you've been on a boatload of different teams. Let's break that down. Best team you've ever been on, and then let's get to Matt's question. How do teams develop a winning culture?
I'd say 17 Diamondbacks in the big leagues. That was one of the best teams I've been on. Close-knit group of guys. Everybody got along. We hung out together. We hung out after the game and had a beer. I mean, we really pulled for each other. And I think that's kind of something that you have to start from the ground up. You have to work on instilling a way about it to where, like you said earlier, you got to show up on time. You got to work hard. You got to have a positive attitude. And there's building blocks. You don't have to have the most talented kids, because in high school, we weren't the most talented team, but we worked harder than any team. I guarantee you that. We worked harder than any team that we played. And that's something that helped us out. We worked for every inch. We worked for every base. We did everything that we were supposed to do, and we did it the right way. We beat out ground balls. And that's I think that's the thing. To build a winning tradition, you have to build a group of guys and build a team that understands the value of hard work. Hard work, being on time, doing what you're supposed to do, going about it the right way. Doing all that, playing baseball the right way, the way it's supposed to be played, which I sometimes think it's kind of a lost art form now that, baseball is going a different direction with not running balls out, not going about it the right way, pimping home runs, things like that. Just play the game how it's supposed to be played. And if you do that, if you go about it, the right way, then, you're going to win games. You work harder than everybody else. You teach fundamentals. You teach how to run bases, how to track balls in the outfield. You don't have to have the most talented guys. You have to have a group of guys that are willing to work, that are willing to pull for the guy that's on the mound, for the guy that's in front of him in the order, behind him in the order. And there's 1 through 9 and the guys on the bench. Everybody has to be involved in this. Everybody has to be bought in. And we talked about that almost on every team that I've been on. Everybody has to pull for everybody. You have to be pulling for the guy behind you and in front of you. And if you do that, you'll win games.
Right on, man. So how about this then? From a coaching perspective, what kind of advice would you give coaches like, hey, okay, so here'd be a better question. Like, you and I both played for people that they're just not, nobody listens to them. Nobody really takes them serious.
Yeah.
Why is that? I can think of one manager that we never took serious. And jump in whenever, because I'd like to hear. But it was hard to take this guy serious because we would have a 5 o'clock bus and it'd be no big deal for him to show up at 5:05. All right, boss is here, we can go.
Yep.
Or same way, like skip out on BP. Like,
you have to be the example that you want from your kids. You have to mirror what you want from them. If you want them to be there early, you have to be there early. And that, some of the best coaches were the coaches that they would show up and do whatever we needed, whatever we wanted. If we wanted extra work in, they'd hit fungos. If we wanted extra BP, they'd throw. Because everybody has a personal life also. Everybody has a field away from everybody has a life away from the field. And I had the most respect for the guys that were willing to put in the amount of time and effort that I needed to put in. And also the guys that respected us. It's hard for me to respect somebody that doesn't give it back. And respect to me that's something that's earned. And, I couldn't walk on a team right now and just say who I am and I wouldn't expect people to respect me. I wouldn't expect that. I'd think that I'd have to earn that. And, that as a coach, I think is one of the big things that, a lot of them need to understand.
Yeah, right on, man. Absolutely. Man, that wraps up questions, dude. I appreciate the time. Yeah, we've been at it for a good solid hour, almost getting into 2 hours now. And any amount of time is valuable, but chewing up 2 hours is man. We more than appreciate the time. Hopefully we get a chance to play some baseball this year, Jeremy. But from all of our guys, man. We cannot thank you enough for the time and sharing some of your experiences with us and some advice and some knowledge. Dropping some nuggets, man. Dropping some nuggets on us.
Absolutely, man. This is a great time. Loving, times are crazy right now, but talking baseball, that's just fun to do all the time. So I'm glad that you invited me to do this. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. Well, sounds good, man. We will kill it off here, and until next time, hopefully we can get you back in this winter for a little bit of a hitting camp going. We'll hopefully we've got baseball to play between now and then, and I hope there's baseball to play. Gosh dang, I hope there's
Me
baseball.
too, man. Me too.
Anyway, Jeremy, I appreciate the time, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate it too. You have a good one.
You too.